Welcome to Childcare Rockstar Radio. I am your host, Kris Murray. Childcare leaders around the globe are breaking through challenges, leading the way in innovation, testing new best practices, and impacting children and families in a much more powerful and positive way than ever before. Each week, join me for interviews with early childhood leaders and experts that will leave you inspired to become the next childcare rockstar. Now, let's go. This is episode 187 of Childcare Rockstar Radio, featuring Kim Lannin. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I am very excited to have you here. I am Kris Murray, your host, and I am fresh back home from the Childcare Success Summit 2024 in Chicago. We had an incredible summit with about 1,000 folks. And yeah, it was best summit ever. If you missed it, you missed a lot. I'm actually going to be doing a solo episode coming up next. So look for that in 2 weeks, releasing with some content and some really good, juicy stuff that I want to share behind the stage, behind the scenes content and behind the scenes experiences from my time at the Childcare Success Summit. And I got to meet Layla Ali, got to meet Ben Nemton backstage, and had a great time with Latrice Galloway, as well as all of our coaches and other content providers and speakers at the summit and our attendees. So got to give many hugs, and I'm going to be talking all about that on our next episode here on the podcast. I'd like to thank two amazing companies for helping me bring this podcast to you today. My friends over at PB&J TV are awesome. And they want you to know that if you're looking for an easy way to enhance safety and operations at your center, check out PB&J TV. They offer live streaming with enhanced AI safety and operation tools that keep parents connected and help schools comply with safety standards with real-time classroom monitoring, unattended child alerts, safer school protocols, and proactive threat detection. Man, PB&J TV empowers schools to maintain a safe and secure environment while focusing on what matters most, the children. So this is really cool state-of-the-art stuff, guys, that you're definitely going to want to check out. These are all enhanced features that PB&J TV offers, and they're one of the only companies in our industry that offers this. And so you want to learn more today. Don't wait. Go over to Peanut Butter and Jelly TV, all spelled out, .com, peanutbutterandjellytv.com. And our friends over at Line Leader are helping us bring this podcast to you today. I have mentioned Line Leader by Childcare CRM many, many times on this podcast and how incredible of a tool it is. Its ability to help you boost enrollment, improve family retention, process payments, and manage your staff is unparalleled. And in fact, one of my former Empire members, Julie Roy, used Line Leader CRM to take her enrollment from 300 students to 1,000 in just 3 years. So it really does work. Line Leader offers digital registration software, a full-featured CRM, a family engagement app, and center management system. While each tool is powerful on its own, the unified platform provides comprehensive visibility into every aspect of your business, ensuring that you can optimize each stage in the family journey. So you can learn all about it. Go check them out and schedule a demo today at lineleader.com. So today's podcast featuring Kim Lannin is a doozy. You're going to have a great time with us here as we share with you Kim's journey with me in coaching over the last 5 or 6 years. And she is the founder and CEO of the Inch by Inch, I shall say, Inch by Inch Childcare. And we talk about the Inch way on this podcast and her journey of creating an empowered school culture step by step. That is the focus of this podcast. And without a positive school culture, you're going to find it to be extremely difficult in this industry to meet your goals and provide top quality education. You got to have teachers and directors and leaders all working together and rowing the boat in the same direction, guys, as you know. And the people on your bus are more important than anything in getting you to your business goals as an owner or an executive director. So This podcast is extremely important, talking about all of that and talking with Kim about where she was before she found us and how her mindset and her confidence have changed exponentially as a leader. We also talk about what she went through during COVID and post-COVID and how she has come out of that to craft an even more empowered school culture, which a lot of you guys are still struggling with, to be quite frank. So I really want you to watch this all in its entirety and take some notes from this episode. Write down one or two ahas, one or two insights that you're going to action. And just by taking action off of this podcast, you can have an incredible school from everything that we discuss right here and in all the episodes that we feature. So there's many, many writer downers, and the path to success is to not only just write them down, but to prioritize them in your action list and get your people to help you implement them to completion. So I hope that you're doing that. If not, consider this to be your little wake-up call from Kris Murray personally to make sure that you're doing that from everything that you hear from me and from us at the Childcare Success Company. And with that, let's take it away. Why wait? Let's dive in and get some great content with myself and Kim Lannin, founder of Inch by Inch out of Massachusetts. Enjoy the episode, guys, and take some action. Let's go. Hey, folks, welcome back. I am very excited to introduce you to my guest today. Her name is Kim Lannin, and she's a dear friend of ours and a member of the Childcare Success Academy. Kim, how are you today?
I am very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I've changed my setting here. I'm in my condo in downtown Denver, and which is an investment condo. So I'm here actually shopping for some last minute outfits for the Childcare Success Summit main stage. So is your wardrobe all together for the trip?
It is not. I had a brief wardrobe crisis. So I had to overnight a couple of things.
Okay.
But it's in progress.
I see. You're not leaving for a couple of days, so that's good.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Where are you right now?
I am at my house in Bedford, Massachusetts, for maximum peace and quiet.
Excellent. And how far is that from downtown Boston?
It's about 20 miles. About 20 miles.
Okay, cool.
It shouldn't take more than 20 minutes drive. We're very excited that you're coming to Boston, by the way.
I was just going to mention that. So for 2025, we do our quarterly mastermind retreats. And one of the locations, our spring location, is Boston next year. So we're going to come to your town. Maybe I'll come by and get a tour of your school.
Oh my God, I would love that.
Awesome. Let's make it happen. And I love Boston. I have not been since we did a mastermind retreat with the Academy way back in 2016 in Boston, which probably was before your time.
It was before
your
my
membership.
time of having the means to travel.
But now you have the means. So we're going to talk all about building the means on today's podcast. Yes. Give us an overview of your business, please. Tell us more about the logistics or the size, location, capacity of your business.
Inch is 30 years old this year. I've been the owner for 18 years. The current license capacity is 102. We're 90% full at this point of the school year. So our enrollment is that we're looking at is post June 25. We have, it fluctuates, 20 to 25 employees. Okay. And our revenue for this year will probably be a little over $2 million.
Excellent. And is the actual name of the school Inch by Inch?
It's Inch by Inch Childcare, Inc. And we call it Inch.
Right.
That is our name for it.
Yes,
Inch.
the nickname is Inch.
Yeah, is Inch.
Love it.
And our philosophy is the Inch way.
Ah, like that. All right. We're going to talk more about the Inch Way as we dive into the podcast here. Tell us about your home life. What's going on in Bedford? Do you have kids or pets, or what keeps you entertained, non-business?
So I'm very boring. My Inch is everything. It's all consuming. I have a husband, Josh. We've been also married for 18 years. We have a house in Vermont, so that's where we get away to. And we
Awesome.
have a fat brown lab called Ham.
Ham.
And he keeps us entertained.
Uh-huh. I had a fat chocolate lab named Simba. So we had that in common.
Yeah, he's amazing. And the one thing that I have incorporated into my daily schedule is the Peloton, as you know, which I love. And I did check last night. I'm at 2,630 rides.
Wow.
That includes warm up and cool down, which is very controversial within the community. Do the warm ups and the cool downs
count towards your rides. Yes. I can see how people can pad their rides with all of the warm-ups and the cool downs, which is actually an excellent strategy. I'm going to adopt that strategy.
Yes.
Because I'm only at I got to 100 really fast during the pandemic or just before the pandemic. And then I have been very lazy and blown off my Peloton. I am doing weight training though, but
very important. Very important.
Yes. I'm impressed with that number. That is fantastic. And who is your favorite? Go ahead.
Oh no. So just to what you were saying, if you do a warm up and a cool down, that's actually 3 rides.
Yes.
I do a lot of rides with Sam Yo because he's very zen. And I also do a lot of rides with Robin because for some reason her inspirational phrases motivate me. Not everyone feels that way about her, but for me, she keeps me moving.
Yes. I am a huge Robin Arzon fan. In fact, we tried to bring her to a mastermind retreat as a speaker and may in the future. But at that time we were trying to bring her, she was getting ready to have her first child. So she wanted no part of that.
But I literally, the first ride that I ever did, it was very humbling. And she said in the ride, just remember what is now your ceiling will become your floor. And I don't know, that just clicked with me. It stuck with me. And I swear if I hadn't heard that, I might not have kept going, but I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I love her. I think she's super inspirational. Every time I need a dose of inspiration so that I can pass forward the inspiration to others, I do a ride with Robin. So big fan. Thank you for sharing that. That's fantastic. And are there any other fun facts besides your chubby dog named Ham and your love of Peloton that you would like to share with the audience?
I am Canadian.
Oh, yes. I don't think I knew that.
Stratford, Ontario, Canada.
Okay. And you
still live there. Yeah.
Okay. I will share that you are a very funny individual. You have a very hilarious, dry sense of humor. So you crack me up.
I'm trying not to swear too much today.
I know our audience is very sensitive about cursing.
It might slip out.
That's where I live. I'm in the slip out phase. I try not to let it slip out, but yeah, that's where we are. People deal with it. Sometimes I have a guest who might be very F-bomby, and then I have to put a warning on the podcast and be like, this is adult. This is an adult only one.
Like the Peloton rides.
Exactly. I know. Because Robin sometimes will get on her curse fest and she's like, this one is not for the children. So put your ear pods in or whatever. Yeah. Let's talk about Inch.
Okay.
When you started, what was your vision, if you had a vision? And talk about the early years when you started. What were some of your triumphs early days and some of your pain points early days, challenges?
The early days were a complete shit show. I had no vision. I was very well intentioned and I wanted to be successful, but I did not have the tool set to do that. So within the first 5 years, I was on the brink of complete and utter failure. And this is a true story. This is not a paid infomercial, but what saved me was finding the academy, because I had no plan. I had no idea what I was doing. And it gave me the tools that I needed to get on the right path. Also, I bought in '06, which was 2 years before the Great Recession, which younger people now have no concept of how difficult and painful a period that was for many people. And so living through that and being a young business owner was really, really difficult. So it probably took me for 10 years to really, really get going in the right direction. And that was the lessons that I learned were extremely helpful, but they were also very painful. So I'm always grateful for you, the work that you do, and the academy for like putting me on the right path. And I think I first came across your company, and I think I was looking back and I think that it was 2013. And the first time that I went to one of the quarterly meetings was 2018.
Okay.
It took me that long to just get my feet under me. So it's been a struggle. It was a struggle at the
Yeah.
beginning.
Well, and if you come into it with no vision and a very short set of tools and business skills and leadership, maybe some leadership skills were needed. Yeah, it can be a rough ride.
It
Um,
truly was.
yeah. So let's talk about what were some of the first things that you did when you joined or just when you started getting coaching and working on your business and getting your tool set expanded. What were
I
some of
would
the things
say
go ahead.
the the two main pillars, I think, of what you should be doing with the business is articulating your vision or core values, deciding what they are. They have to be something that is inherent to you that you believe in. And that's what we have now. And also, what I didn't have was I did not have a team who was working for me. I had a team that was working against me. Aside from my husband and my family, my parents, I didn't have anybody there who was on my side.
Mm.
So putting together that team who's working with you and you're all working together is really, really important.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think in childcare we have so much trouble building teams that work alongside us versus against us? Because I feel like that's something that is really common. Is it because it's mostly women and sometimes women don't want to help other women succeed? Is it because that there's petty jealousies? Like, why is it poor leadership? Like, what do you think the root cause is of that?
I think it could be a lack of skills in the leadership,
Mm-hmm.
because if you don't really read or belong to a group like the academy and dig deep, most people have a very conventional idea of what a leader is. And it's that top down idea of like, you work for me, I'm the boss, these are the rules. And to be successful, at least for us, we've had to be unconventional. We are unconventional. And it's hard to be that way sometimes. When you say one of our values is that we say we're a family and we work together. And sometimes doing that in practice sucks. When like three people call out, you just have to be like, okay, let's dig in, let's get to work and make it work. But another thing is, people want to stick by these really like conventional rules, like if you're 5 minutes late, I'm writing you up. Especially around here, no, 5 minutes is not late. 5 minutes is there was a long traffic light, there was a lot of traffic, the line at Dunkin's was too long. And so if you do away with those like conventional ideas, I think that people could be could be better off in a sense, which is not to say that you don't need to have rules, but that's what we've done. And also for us, we're hands-on. It's not really, I'm trying to think of like how it eventually it would be scalable. It's not. But the way that my director and I manage is that we're always walking around.
Mm-hmm.
How are you? How are things going? What do you need? What's going on in here? Are you okay? Walking around and around and around. That's the type of leadership that I think is needed, but a lot of people don't.
Right. Right. I love the leadership or management by walking around philosophy.
Yes.
That's awesome. I love that you're hands-on. I love that, you're showing up, because a lot of people, sometimes people that come into the academy and they're in the freedom track, they're like, oh, freedom from my business. I don't have to show up. Woohoo. And it's like, no, that's not actually what it means.
Which also speaks to, if you're going to do this, you need to like people and you need to like children. You can't just like the revenue. I enjoy being around the kids. I enjoy talking to their parents every day. What we do now, it's almost like you're a therapist to them. You're an advisor to help them with their children. And so if you don't enjoy talking to people and helping them and being with kids, then probably like that's where that's where you should start. If you don't want to ever be in your school, then why do you have one?
Right. 100%. Let's talk about mindset. So how has your mindset changed over the years, and what do you attribute that to the most?
I have much more confidence in our brand than I did, say, even 5 years ago. But we've really managed to articulate and put in place something that parents appreciate, they like, and the kids are thriving. So that I have much more confidence. I had zero before. I feel like my management skills are always going to be a work in progress. They still are. I'm always thinking about where I can improve. The mindset comes from working with people in the academy on that type of thing. Because when you're an owner, it can be very isolating. Who supports you? Who do you have to talk to? So learning from each other is really important. And and having mentors like yourself. I am also good friends with Charlie Marcotti, and she has been an amazing mentor to me. We text almost every single day. So that has been tremendous help to my mindset overall.
Yeah. So Charlie was featured on the podcast early days and is in Massachusetts as well. And so talk a little bit about one of my favorite things about the academy is when friendships form, and or what I'll call mini tribes or little pod friendships or groups that pop up. And one of the things that happened was during COVID. The state of Massachusetts was one of the most strict, if not the most strict state in terms of operations and shutting programs down during COVID. And you guys formed a subgroup, a Massachusetts cohort. Talk a little bit about that and what that meant to you to try to get through COVID.
So when the quarantine happened, EEC suspended, that's our licensing agency, suspended all licenses effective, I believe it was March 13th. And we were not authorized to reopen until the 29th of June. So it was almost 4 months that we were all closed. And so what we did was that we put together a support group and we met on weekly Zooms and talked through what was going on. We helped each other with things like applying for the PPP, talking through the new regulations that were coming out and how we were going to manage those. And so without that, that was completely invaluable. Without that, I mean, just even the PPP alone, having that money to support the business, which was closed for 4 months. We had no revenue for 4 months. But I often think, I don't know if I would have known to do that if I hadn't been a part of the group. It was, in hindsight, like really like a crazy time. And just the fact that I had people to help me. I don't know how someone, just an individual, would have gotten through.
Yeah. So I'm sure that was a big challenge. What was another big challenge that you have faced? Maybe a recent challenge, like in the last couple of years, something that you faced that you had to overcome.
The pandemic itself was really challenging because it was, at the beginning, it was the quarantine. That was the first 4 months. But then this went on for 3 years, and navigating it, our licensing agency wasn't supportive at all. So that's really been the biggest obstacle. And at the end of it, by 2013, we were exhausted. And I think all of last year, it just took us like a year to just live and recover from it, because the way that we had to manage it was that we were on 24/7 we were working 24/7 for those 3 years. If there was a case, it had to be reported. There was a list of items that you had to go through. And so just living through that was exhausting. And so last year, I would say, like, it was unproductive in the sense of like pushing the business forward, because we just needed a year to recover and then figure out where do we want to go next. And another challenge that everyone is facing is staffing. It's really difficult. It's horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that you can do is just talk to each other and pick each other's brains and keep trying to move forward. Or, as I said to Stefan, ABH, always be hiring.
That's it.
That's it.
So with that, what have you found lately? Have you found any little gems of things that have moved the needle for you in your hiring?
We approach the hiring as ongoing. It's not like before where you had a position, you filled it, and then it was done.
Right.
We're constantly bringing in candidates. We're constantly interviewing. We are a client of GYC, and they help us with that. But last year, what we did was that we had a hiring goal. We met it, and then we stopped all of our campaigns, only to find that, oh, things happen. We need more people, and getting it ramped up again. There was a gap in time where we were short-staffed. So what I did this year was I said, we need to approach these positions as evergreen constantly. Now we're just constantly have Indeed posts out. Mm-hmm. We're constantly bringing in candidates for interviews. To be honest, though, like if you're a good school, you should always want to be hiring a good teacher anyway. So
right.
That's fine with us, but it is a different mindset than it was before, definitely.
Right. So that change it's first of all, super smart. You're just going to have to make the investment. And I say this a lot, which is that the two main business challenges of any childcare center are, keeping the room staffed and keeping the room full of children. And if you put solid investments and processes and structure towards those two efforts, you're going to be close to full all the time, and you're going to be picking up all your money off the table. So it's going to pay back in droves. And a lot of people might not listen to that because they'll be like, well, I don't want to spend money on my Indeed right now. I want to shut it off. And then what happens? So you've experienced that. So it's like, just stop the ebb and flow, guys, and just keep the investment strong and do great marketing to both of those efforts.
And if someone wants to be a part of your team, then hire them. If if they want to be with you, then why would you say no? And likewise with the enrollment, if somebody wants to come to your school, then find a way to bring them, find a way to get them in. We had a guy who showed up at our door like 3 times because he was looking for a spot for his toddler, and we had no room. And then finally, my director and I said to each other, listen, this guy really wants to come here. We should just figure this out, which we did.
Nice. Find a spot. It's good. That's good. I love that.
If you've got a referral from a family, get them in.
Right. Yeah. I've had shocking stories of people telling me that, they called 3 times, called 4 times, trying to get in, no response, no call back, no email. It happens. Sometimes sticky notes get lost, but get them in, guys. So I want to talk about the Inch Way, and I want to talk about what are some things about your program that set you apart in the community. Have there been things that you've added in that you're passionate about, that you pulled into your childcare center to kind of represent you, or just talk more about how you develop that?
In the winter, after the winter conference, I did a presentation to our staff about our core values and how they started and where they came from. When I first met you, you said to me, you need to find a way to differentiate yourself from your competitors, who in my area are mostly corporate centers. So the way that we decided to set ourselves apart was through customer service. And that is what the Inch Way is. It's being helpful, being kind, and not being hesitant about going the extra mile for people. It will set you apart. People will appreciate that, and it will benefit your business in ways that you never anticipated. People often confuse kindness for weakness. They are different things. Meet people where they are. Some people need help. They need support. Be that for them, and it will pay off. And that's really what the foundation of the Inch Way is. And that's how we treat our families. That's how we treat the staff. And that's how we, what governs how we go about our day. And that's something that my director, Jackie Leahy, and I, who've worked together for almost 10 years now, this is something that we've just come up with over time. And we feel that it's a successful philosophy, and the way that we measure it is with employee and family retention, which is high, and we always aim to keep it that way.
Love that. Those are amazing things that you just shared. I'm actually going to be touching on some of that exceptional customer service, customer experience components at the summit in my keynote talk. And I love that that's part of the Inch Way and your philosophy and your brand.
It's so really important. Good. Parents nowadays can be, they can be really overwhelmed. Everybody's busy. A lot of the parents are customer based. They have big jobs. And so just help them, try to help them. Mm-hmm. Be kind. And it will pay off.
Having today's stressful careers for both mom and dad, combined with multiple little kids, is the most stressful part of life, right? To me, having lived it. So I'm sure they appreciate that so much. That's really, really good. And then if you combine in the traffic of the Boston area and all that stuff, ooh. What is going on for you for the rest of the year and into 2025? What are you working on? What are you
My goals for this quarter and probably into the next few quarters are we're working on an expansion of the program. It's going slowly, but it's going. It's always hard to do something that you don't know how to do. That's kind of where I am right now. I've never done this before, so I'm learning on the job. And we want to do some rebranding. So that's really what I am looking most forward to for the rest of this year, and hopefully it'll be successful. And if we do that, then it'll basically like double our enrollment. So that'd be great.
Cool.
Yeah.
So are you going to expand onto your current campus?
Yes.
Okay.
We have space that is leased that we're working through a permit right now.
Love that. And are you going to do it like a website refresh with GYC, or what are you going to do for the branding?
Yeah, all of it. Because when we started thinking about it, you can't, build a new school and then, they have to look the same. So that's where it came from. What do we need? We need to Inch is 30 years old. It needs like a big refresh. I think that's really important to a business to keep it relevant, is to not, let it get old looking.
Mm-hmm.
And especially, Jackie says, which is a great point in childcare, you want to people think that clean is very important. New is clean. Even though old, it could be clean. New is clean. So that's an important component of it also.
Yeah. That's awesome. Very cool. Well, any final thoughts, Kim? We're towards the end of our time together. I want to thank you. I can't wait to see you here in a few days in Chicago at the summit. Anything else you want to share?
I hope I wasn't too boring. You have been such an amazing mentor to me. I am so grateful to have the stroke of luck of finding your book in 2013, which led me to you. Everything that I have now is due to a few people, you being one of them. And without the support of the Academy and my family, this is how I came to, be sitting where I am now, in a beautiful house, in a cashmere sweater.
I love it. With over 2,300 Peloton rides.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
That also.
I love it. Well, Kim Lannin, Inch by Inch, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. And thank you for everything you do also for your fellow members and paying it forward and being a sweetheart and contributing to the Academy like you do. And I just want to thank you for also for the parents of Bedford, Mass. You're making a difference for the children and the families there. And I'm sure that they appreciate that. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I'll see you on Thursday.
Okay. Thanks everybody for being here again on Childcare Rockstar Radio, and take care and God bless. And thanks again, Kim Lannin. We'll see everybody soon. I hope you liked this episode of Childcare Rockstar Radio. If you did, please leave a review and share it with someone you know to help spread the word to friends in our industry and on social media. Childcare business success is my passion, and I'm honored to be on this journey with you. As a thank you for listening, I've got a new video training that shows you how to add 6 figures or more of new revenue to your program in the next 60 days by improving your hiring and your enrollment systems. To watch my new video, just go to www.fixmyschool.com. That's fixmyschool.com. Thanks. Take care and God bless.